But you raise a really interesting issue about parents and children. And there's a real tension going on here, because the way we bring up our children has changed enormously within 2 or 3 generations. Many of us lived in extended family groups, and if we weren't in the same house, then there would be friends and family who were adjacent to us. With the nuclear family, and of course, when we lived in an extended family, childcare was distributed across lots of family members, sisters, mothers, aunts. And so it wasn't the sole responsibility of the parents, and usually the mother, for childcare. But in the nuclear family, you've lost that extended social contact. And I think it's immensely distressing because, young mothers feel that they can't cope because they're chronically tired. Well, we've never evolved for a single parent to look after exclusively the child. And so, people need to realize that this is not all of the primates, the apes, they have extended family care across the group. And so reaching out for help and saying, look, can you be on hand? Can you do this? Is not a failure at all. It's actually embracing sort of what we've done traditionally for hundreds and thousands, in fact, millions of years. And so I feel desperately sorry for young parents, and particularly young mums, who don't realize that it's not their failure at all. It's just a radical change in the way we live our lives. And we don't live in an extended family group any longer.
That's such a good point. And for a mom out there who takes your advice and they reach out for help, that could be a piece of this. But what would you say to them to help make up for that lack of sleep that inevitably is going to happen at night? Like we talked about naps quickly there. And if you're somebody that's relying on those as a quote unquote general person, that's not a good thing. It's probably signifying you're not sleeping well at night. But what can moms do who are reaching for help where they can, but they're still pushing through, tired a lot of the time? Is a nap a good thing? And what other, again, coming back to hacks, what would you recommend?
Yeah, certainly. When the baby is asleep or the young child is asleep, you take that opportunity to sleep as well if you're falling down. Don't think, right, now I can do all the chores. Well, the chore that you need most is to catch up with some sleep. And so prioritize sleep. It is not an indulgence or a luxury. It's going to make you a much better person, and indeed potentially a much better parent, because you'll be able to deal with all of the irritations that you'll have to deal with. So very much. And I think it's important that before a child arrives, baby is born, you've actually worked out some sort of infrastructure whereby there are key people you can reach out to and say, look, I'm sorry, have you got an hour? I just need to, can you just come over, sit on the sofa with a baby while I just go and get an hour's sleep? And that's the thing, embrace this. Don't be afraid of it. It's what each of us needs to do.
If you enjoyed that clip, press here for the full episode. I'll see you over there.
So the shorthand for melatonin that you read all the time is that it's a sleep hormone, and it most emphatically is not. But what does caffeine do? Well, it blocks adenosine receptors within the brain, so it masks